Evening, a warm welcome to the Vanarama National League Highlights Show. We're here in North Wales. Grant Holt alongside me at Wrexham's Racecourse Ground. Highlights of their game against Sutton to come later, but we'll start with the leaders in the National League, Woking. Could they stay top? Danny Jameson has all the details.
It was a warm welcome back to Surrey for former Woking manager Gary Hill and his Ebbsfleet side. No favours being done for the visitors though. The first goal you see tonight might be the best one of the evening. Tyreek Johnson lashing one past Jordan Holmes. Just after half-time, the league leaders had a glorious chance to double their lead. Johnson clean through this time, tripped by Holmes. Referee Scott Jackson pointing to the spot. Jake Hyde has already scored 2 penalties this season, but got far too much on this one, looking for the top corner but only finding the bar. With 13 minutes left, Woking looked to have the game sewn up. Dave Tarpey's run causing panic, the ball falling for Hyde, this time making no mistake from 12 yards. Fleet might be second bottom, but they've scored in 9 of their 10 games this season. Make that 10 of 11. Gozi Ugwu sending a perfect through ball to Laurie Wilson. His low cross turned in by Alex Reid at the back post. Game on. And then into added time, a free kick 20 yards out. Miles Weston standing over it, a perfect curler past the stranded Craig Ross. A deserved point for Ebbsfleet, but Woking now drawn 3 in a row. That draw opened the door for Bromley to try and take top spot. Luke Coulson opening the scoring for the visitors with a sumptuous lob over a stranded Max Striek. But Eastleigh are unbeaten in their last 12 meetings with Bromley in all competitions, and with only 5 minutes to go, some nice interplay down the right-hand side ended with Joe Partington's low cross almost put past his own keeper by Chris Bush. And in the resulting melee, Kavanagh Miley smashed in his first goal since December last year. A point apiece, Bromley remain the league's sole unbeaten team. Those 2 results gave second place Halifax a chance of topping the table. Notts County's Michael Doyle opening the door even further with a brutal challenge on debutant Charlie Cooper. An obvious red card, his second of the season already. It's 46 years since these 2 last met, County winning both that season. It would finish the same here. Jim O'Brien's through ball deserved a goal. Wes Thomas couldn't finish it off, but Kyle Wooten half-volleyed it into the bottom corner against his former club for the win. Dagenham are unbeaten in 6 games and started this one far quicker than Hartlepool. Some slick build-up play allowed Juan Luque to find an unmarked Joe Quigley, who just about squeezed it under Ben Killip. Their second was a little more Route 1. Angelo Balanta's pace is a real nuisance and goaded Killip into rushing off his line. When he didn't deal with this long ball, Balanta kept his head to roll in his 5th of the season from a very tight angle. Hartlepool have been in good form leading into this, vaulting into the top half after 5 unbeaten. With 10 minutes to go, we had a game. Dagenham refusing to clear the ball, Nicky Kabamba's brilliant first touch, laying it off for Ryan Donaldson. A big deflection carrying his shot past Elliot Justin. But just 2 minutes later, any hopes of a comeback were extinguished. Baggerson Graham's cross looped back across goal by Balanta, while everyone else watched it hit the bar. Quigley nipped in for his second of the afternoon. The Daggers with back-to-back wins, they're lurking just outside the playoffs.
Well, a few things to pick through there, not least the leaders Woking, and must have thought with, 7 or 8 minutes to go that they were going to pick up another win. Gary Hill, former Woking manager, will be, I would think, enjoying his Saturday night dinner and drinks. Will he not, as manager of Ebbsfleet?
Yeah. We thought they'd done it. As I said, we were watching the scores come in, we're thinking, oh, they're going to do it again, Woking. Just that little, this is the gap, they might need that little stretch, and then they get the 2 goals later on. Be disappointed for Woking. It
will be, I'm sure. Good free kick, obviously, late in the day from Miles Weston. Little left foot curler. Could the goalkeeper maybe do better? As he kind of
I think
tempted
so.
by the right footer?
It's not like he's really whipped it. He's just kind of floated it. So I think the keeper's kind of overcompensated there a little bit for me.
Yeah, maybe. It's a point for Woking and they stay top, but they'll wonder about what might have been. Halifax, I think it's a second defeat on the spin after a really strong start, which is what they did before under Jimmy Fullerton. Obviously Pete Wild in charge now, but losing to 10 men Notts County will be a bit of a blow.
Yeah, I think with the blow, the 10 men, exactly. I said Notts County have had a little bit of a turn. Halifax have done it last season. They started off really, really well, and then that little tail off when people found them out. But as for Notts County, they needed these results the last few weeks, and they've got them. I said to go that long today with 10 men against a good Halifax side, they've done really well.
It's actually a second red card this season for Michael Doyle, and actually, if we have a look at it, it's He doesn't need to do
it's
this.
a-
Charlie
it's just-
Cooper was actually turning away.
It's a naughty challenge. I said,
Yeah.
you've gone in, you've won the ball, he's turned his back and he's carried on to catch him. As I said, it's one of them, he hopes he gets away with it. But if you watch it here, he's done it. He's carried through on purpose.
There's no need to do that.
There's no need to do it. I said, the ball's gone past him, but I said, that kills you, Notts County. Obviously, you're on a momentum, you're in the game and you do that. Luckily, they get the goal just after.
And now, in an unpredictable season, Bromley are predictable in the sense that they are the only unbeaten team and are still unbeaten, albeit that's 3 draws, no defeats, 3 draws in 4 games for Neil Smith.
Yeah, they keep scoring, but they keep conceding. As I said, they're a good young side, and they need to learn quickly that they can't keep getting themselves goal behind to try and get it back all the time. You can't keep doing that. As I said today, too many draws for them. That'll be their downfall.
Good win for Dagenham, as we just saw as well. Peter Taylor watched his side against Bromley a couple of weeks back, and they're hard to play against. I think that's fair. But picking up wins now, the Daggers, which
Fair
is
enough. As I said, they've kind of gone back to the game plan. They kind of stripped it all down, done what they need to do, and get points on the board. And it seems like that's working for them at the moment. I think if you start the season, they were a little bit all over the place. They didn't know what they were and weren't doing, and now they've just stripped it back down, quite direct.
Yeah.
And getting the job done.
Yeah, indeed. And I think a decent budget. So if they need reinforcements, there will be money available. Now, talking of budgets and expectation, Chesterfield, surely the team this season that thus far have definitely not lived up to the hype from me and Alti, if nobody else. John Sheridan's side, no wins until today. Torquay, the visitors to the Spyrites.
Chesterfield, with no wins and bottom of the league, were desperate for something to change in their season, and it came via the boot of Scott Bowden. His 5th of the season, enough to beat Torquay and lift the Spyrites from the foot of the table.
Well, we've just said to them that it's a start. I mean, hopefully they say, get your first win, but we've said if we can get back-to-back wins, then that'll get us on and get us running. So it's a small step to start, and hopefully we can continue it next Saturday.
A first ever meeting between Yeovil Town and AFC Fylde, and less than 5 minutes on the clock, Rhys Murphy back from a hamstring injury and back on the score sheet from a free kick. It's been a disappointing start to the season for Fylde. After reaching the playoff final in May, they found themselves in the lower half of the table, and they found themselves 2-0 down here when Matt Worthington found Miles Hippolyte. A long throw from Jordan Williams earned the visitors a route back into the contest just before the hour mark. Substitute Kurt Willoughby with the final touch and his first goal for the club. But the Glovers restored their advantage in the 77th minute. Jimmy Smith on debut with a finish that would help extend Fylde's record winless run to 7 matches. The Coasters did score one more goal before time. Kyle Jameson picking out Willoughby for his 2nd of the game. In the end, though, a 4th win on the bounce for Yeovil for the first time in over 3 years. Harrogate Town are another side suffering a drop-off from last season. 6th last time round, yet 17th at the start of the weekend. Against Boreham Wood, they were fortunate not to be reduced to 10 men when Jack Muldoon appeared to stamp on Kane Smith. Boreham Wood with the game's best chance. Kieran Murtaugh's header kept out by James Belshaw. But ultimately, a goalless draw that keeps both sides in the bottom half.
What a relief for Chesterfield and John Sheridan.
And us too.
Yeah, absolutely. I know.
He needed that, and he'd be the first to admit it. They needed that result. It just hasn't worked from the start of the season. They haven't really get going. The man who scored, we all tipped him to be up there for a golden boot.
Yep.
It just hasn't really worked for them. And I said, especially at home today, that was massive. And I said, we scored early, didn't they?
Oh, 12 minutes. That's a long time to sit on a 1-0 lead, isn't it? But to be fair to Scott Bowden, he doesn't thrash at this. He doesn't panic about the ball as it drops.
He's a natural finisher, isn't he? He knows what he does. He's good. We talked about at the start of the season that he'll be up there. This is what he's brilliant at. Playing on the shoulder, cool as you like. There you go. And that's what he's brilliant at.
Interesting to see Denton as well playing from the start up front for Chesterfield. I think he's tried different things, John. kind of gone back to the tried and tested with Denton.
Well, we've seen it at the end of last season. They started getting a relationship, they started doing the right things, and obviously he's put the big man back in. And no matter what you say about him, he's a handful. And I said, especially with him doing that and being around it, he always takes the eye off someone.
Yeah. Obviously, great win for Yeovil. I think that's a fourth on the spin. But let's talk about Fylde first. Dave Challoner, obviously so close last season, win the trophy, but it's not happening at the moment, really not happening. They're in the bottom four, that's a worry.
Yeah, that is a worry. As I said, we talked about at the start of the season that he brought in some really good players that we thought would enhance his squad, and he just hasn't really got going for them this season. I said Yeovil, complete turnaround, and so we've seen them at Barrow a few weeks ago, and they look a completely different side. They didn't really do anything. We were a little bit worried for them, but it seems like they've really got to grips with the last few weeks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we're actually at Fylde next weekend, aren't we? So I hope we get
We are, yeah.
a warm welcome.
That's why I'm trying to be careful what I say. See a big game next week. But for them, we've expected them to be up there for the last few years, and for them to be down so low, it is a bit of a worry.
Yeah, and as we saw, no goals, Harrogate and Boreham were. Jack Muldoon possibly a little lucky to stay on the pitch in that one. We'll take a quick break, after which we'll have a look at what happened here. Got pretty lively with Wrexham and Sutton going head-to-head at the racecourse, and we'll have the rest of the afternoon's goals as we round up the full picture in the Vanarama National League. See you in a minute. Welcome back to the National League Highlights Show. Myself and Grant at the Racecourse Ground, course home to Wrexham. Sutton, the visitors here this afternoon. Let's have a look at those two got on. Started the game in 20th and 18th, so two teams desperate for the 3 points on offer. Watching for us, Alan Virgo and Adam Somerton.
Adjiboy looking to take on Jennings, has got past him too. It's a fantastic run. Adjiboy's gone all the way. Dibble with the save. Best moment of the game so far. First corner of the game then for Sutton United. Comes in the 23rd minute at the racecourse. It's a good ball, and it's been cleared off the line. They're saying it went in. Collins vociferous in his protest that went over the line. Big call for the referee Simon Mather to make. Bobby Grant, Mark Carrington, Harris calling for it in the middle, lays it off here for Grant. He'll bend one, good save. Fine stop by Jamie Butler. Summerfield and Young to take it. Young with the ball in. Oh, it was an awkward one that, wasn't too sure. Jamie Butler. Eastman, David Adjiboy. Eastman with the cross, over it goes towards Kenny Davis, good knock down, Beautyman scores! His first sight of goal of the day, and Sutton's top scorer puts them in front here.
It's a brilliant ball in there to that far post area, and what he does, he just reacts quickly, just gets a stab on it really, to take it past Dibble at the near post.
He'll be delighted. Just about everybody back here for Sutton, and cleared off the line. Well, they're saying it was a handball, and it was, and it's a red card, deliberate from Eastman. He's off, and Wrexham have a penalty. Bobby Grant shoulders the responsibility here. It's Grant, it's 1-1. Thumb toe, just the sort of penalty that Wrexham needed. Real drama right at the end of the game here.
Our fans are fantastic. We're a fan-owned club. You know, they expect to see us winning games, which is great. You know, especially here because our record over the last 18 months or so has been fantastic. But if we're not winning games, you know, it can turn quite quickly, and that's where we're at the moment. You know, we're in this little rut. You know, that's no winning 6 now. But yeah, you know, the fans have been great so far. You know, we need them to keep pushing with us. With regards to how it affects the players, like I said, they're human. It will affect them, you know. And what I need to do is try and manage them to make sure it doesn't affect them, because I need them to be on top of their games right from minute one.
We talked about goal line technology at half-time, but no arguments with Craig Eastman there at the end.
No, certainly no arguments on that one, but I haven't seen and I haven't even heard really from pretty much what you're saying there. It's probably crossed the line. So it's disappointing. We've had another great chance with David Ajiboye, a young lad who's been outstanding for me, and it's disappointing we didn't go in front at half-time, but we got the goal, and we just looked a little bit tired legs later on, and it was just disappointing really, because I'm not making excuses, because all the managers in this league will say exactly the same. But the amount of games that we've had in short space of time, I can hardly do any training sessions with them. Just literally just got to repair them and get them back out for the next game. So the fitness levels are dipped, but because they've been carrying knocks and niggles, we haven't got the training sessions into them.
Well, to clarify, in a way, as far as Matt Gray is concerned, the one in the first half from James Collins, the header, we're not sure. It's inconclusive whether it crosses the line, so can't be given. That's as much as we can say on it, really. Certainly Harry Buteman's shot in the second half does cross the line, which, of course, got the Wrexham fans very irate.
Yeah, he certainly did. I think he was the only one. I think he was the only one for them who certainly was going to score today. He was making them little runs. He just had a 10-minute spell where he's getting in and around it. And to be fair, great little position. I said Pearson won't be happy. He's mourning at the two lads for not winning the header, but he's got to get a little bit tighter, a man of his experience. But a great little swivel, great little finish.
Yeah, it is. Really good goal. Kenny Davis with the knockdown, and then Buteman on the spot. And it looked like that might make it Sutton's day, and the Wrexham fans were baying for blood. Then the drama of the late penalty, no doubt about it. Craig Eastman throws an arm up just instinctively.
No doubt about it, yeah. Great. At first header, he'd lost Collins all afternoon, and then obviously great little save when it tipped it over the bar. But I said he might, well, you might as well do that, but he had nothing to lose. They'd worked so hard to get something out of the game, and for them, they needed that. So, as I said, a great penalty when it comes up. Bobby kept his nerve, because what you don't see on there is how long it took for him to actually take the penalty by all the antics of certain things, and the ball's been kicked away. But I said the keeper nearly got it, but they needed that.
Yeah, and then there was a little bit of handbags. Bobby trying to get the keeper sent off. The keeper had actually asked him to put it that side, so he obliged. Just keeper couldn't save it.
I think
Point
he's
was
more
probably about right for both teams, although Matt Gray, as you can see in the dressing room afterwards, is wondering about what might have been.
Yeah, absolutely devastated. I said he came with his game plan. The game plan worked to a point. I said he got his goal. The defended really well. The boys laid literally everything on the line for him, and it's always disappointing when you get a late goal like that. It's disappointing. But I said for Wrexham, they kept on going. The one thing you're going to say, they kept on going. They kept on working. They kept doing it. They got the plaudits. And to be honest with you, if a little bit more quality, they could have pinched it.
Yeah. Definitely some relief for Brian Hughes. OK, let's see how the 4 remaining matches turned out. Jake Watson's got the details with some of the teams in and around the early playoff picture.
Stockport had started the season in good form, but it was Aldershot who started the brighter of the two sides. Connor Shields, who was given all the time he needed to pick out Panayiotou in the box, who then had the time and space, but also the quality to smash home a fine strike. And just a few minutes later, Stockport once again allowed Aldershot the freedom to get a shot away. Alefi Santos produced this rocket, which beat Hinchcliffe in the Stockport goal. Stockport would have fancied their chances of picking up all 3 points before kick-off. Joe Piggott scored this screamer on his home debut to get his side back into it with 15 to play, but it turned out to be just a consolation. Barrow ended a run of 3 consecutive defeats last weekend, and they carried that momentum into this week as John Rooney scored this free kick. He'll tell you it was definitely a shot, but I'm sure the Solihull boss Tim Flowers will have something to say about the goalkeeping. And on the stroke of half-time, Rooney was at it again. No question he was shooting this time. That's the midfielder's 4th goal this season. No doubt John's older brother Wayne would approve of his younger sibling's performance. Solihull have been struggling lately, 4 games without a win. And this one was all but lost just after the break. Scott Quigley scoring his 5th of the season. Last season's runners-up will want to get out of this run of form as soon as possible. They'll now have to do that without the suspended Tyrone Williams, who saw red in the second half for 2 bookable offences. Chorley came into their game with Dover, with the leakiest defence in the division and in the bottom 4. On loan, Fleetwood keeper Billy Crellin was quickly off his line to head clear, but Dover were quickest to react to the second ball, and their front 2 linked up perfectly, with Modeste sliding it home. In the second half, Chorley went searching for that all-important equaliser. And when Dover couldn't quite clear their lines, Chris Holroyd was on hand to poke home from close range. It wasn't pretty, but Chorley won't mind one bit. It's a good away point for Jamie Vermilio's side to take back home to Lancashire. Maidenhead are one of the early season surprises, sitting in fourth at the start of the day and boasting an away record which hasn't seen them lose since the back end of last season. And they started brightly here and nearly took the lead through Joe Erlol. But Barnet, one of the pre-season favourites for promotion, are now starting to pick up momentum under Darren Curry. Josh Walker scoring for the Bees here to take their unbeaten stretch to 5 games. The Barnet boss Darren Curry has been linked with the vacant job at League One side Southend. He says he's taken that speculation as a compliment.
If that's a reflection of my team's doing well and in the outside world I'm doing well, then great. You know, we all want to strive to be better and climb the ladder. But you know, I'm extremely happy as a Barnet manager. So I'm enjoying working for this club that's very close to my heart, and I enjoy working with these group of players.
So that's Darren off to Southend then. No, joking. We'll obviously watch that space, but he says all the right things. That's all he can do. Yeah, I think Barnet obviously are doing pretty well. There's a lot of teams you could make a case for still, aren't there?
There always is in this division, and that's what you look at Barnet. It's a great result today. Maidenhead have been on a great run. They've started really bright, but as I said, they're a good side, and we talked about at the start of the season. They've got great quality, they've got great depth, and they should be up there with the budget that they've got.
Now then, your old club Barrow. John Rooney clearly has got some of the brotherly skills, certainly from set pieces, knows where the goals are. That's 4 free kicks this season.
He'll score 50 this season if goalkeepers keep doing this, to be fair to him.
Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, oopsie daisy. But I think we all know John's got the quality. Especially this shows what he's all about, to be honest with you. And that's another side that needed a win. Barrow needed one today. I said they've been under the best side of results at the minute, and they needed that.
Solihull, in a bit of a pickle at the moment. Tim Flower, and the football players dug them out a little bit, these players, and they haven't responded well yet.
No, he dug them out a few weeks ago. He said they need to start working a little bit harder, earning the money, and they haven't done that for him the last few weeks. Tricky start. We would never have dreamed they'd be where they are at the start of the season, and they need to do something about it. So they've got a big budget, they've got players on big money, and they need to start showing it.
I know he's had some injuries. Hopefully as they come back, things will improve from a Solihull point of view. Let's have a little look at the Vanarama National League tonight then, and how things stand. Woking still top, a point clear of unbeaten Bromley. Then Halifax, despite today's defeat, they're the top 3. Yeovil, Dagenham and Redbridge, Maidenhead and Dover make up the top 7. Mixed results for the leading teams today, I think it's fair to say. At the bottom, the win for Chesterfield gets them a bit closer to safety. Filed into the bottom 4, 3-2 losers at Yeovil today. You're certainly starting to impress. And Chorley and Absolute both picked up precious points. So a first win for Chesterfield. They stay in the bottom 4. Woking a point clear at the top. That's your highlights. We'll see you next time.